The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Thank you for coming out today. Can you gather closer to these speakers so we can have comments made, and maybe you can learn something from the speakers who've come today?
Coming in the middle. Just coming to the middle.
Thank you again for coming. I want to make some opening comments. I really appreciate all the people here today and appreciate the diversity. I'd ask that you respect each other's opinions. We have a lot of different ethnicities here, a lot of different religions. Everybody's entitled to their beliefs. Please be respectful of that. Today's gathering is essentially to help us understand how to lobby Congress and get them to vote no against this impending war that Obama wants. The American public is firmly against this war. That's quite obvious by all the polls and by all the letters to Congress people. So we need to get the vote out even more. We need to get people to contact their congressmen and tell them that they're against this war. And I've got a lot of literature up here that would help you contact them with addresses and the like. There are a lot of Syrians here today, and they would like to speak. I'd first like to invite my dear friend Lena Tommy to speak. She's a Syrian American, naturalized, and she has a lot of family in Syria. And this is a very, very emotional issue that touches her to the core. So without further ado, Lena, please.
Right up on the mic.
Hi, and thank you for being here. I came to America 19 years ago because I wanted the freedom and enjoy it. And I wanted to be free. But I am so surprised how the government, not the people of America, the government and foreign policies is so much against the real freedom. To have America hit Syria and killing more Christians in Syria and losing lives and more tragedy in Syria, that's so much anti-freedom. I talked to my sister yesterday. She said, Lena, Al-Qaeda is taking over. They are backing up the rebels. And if Bashar al-Assad, the president, go and Al-Qaeda take over, that's it. We have no home, no nothing. This is a Christian civilization. Since Jesus was there and walked there and lived there, and Paul and others. And I'm not talking about Islam or Christians. I'm not against anybody. There's lots of Muslims who are friends and who wants peace too in Syria. And who are here today. Wonderful. I'm talking about Al-Qaeda and extremists. We go fight them in Afghanistan and lose lives there and spend money there. Then we go back them up in Syria. What's going on? What's wrong, America? What's wrong? We have innocent lives. My parents, my family, my village, my mountains, my churches, and Muslim friends and country. The whole country is at stake. We don't want to lose Syria from the map. Hello? Any more killing is bad. And America, please look at our situations here. We need jobs. We need money for welfare. We need better insurance, better life. We have beautiful kids who don't know war. We want to provide that for them in the future, American future. America is the safety path for everybody. So stay this way. Please, no war. Don't spend your money because someone said I should fight. We don't know his agenda. We don't know those people what's their agenda. Those people who have so much money and they're making money from wars. So don't believe them. Believe what God gives you in your heart. War is ugly. Killing is ugly. Have mercy. Have mercy and say no for the war against Syria. What happened in Iraq is now I have Iraqi friends. They tell me it's so much more corrupted. Way more bribery and corruption and poverty and war is so bad. So bad. Some Arabs, they don't deserve democracy. Sometimes it takes time to get it for Arabs because of their way of many things we all know about it. So give them a chance. They're all crying for freedom. But if you hit them, it will be way worse in the Middle East.
Can I ask you some questions, Lena? Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
You have family in Syria. Where are they at?
In Damascus, and we have a house in the mountains. My parents are in there, stayed there for now, but they're really scared. My sister and her husband, he's very active in the Catholic Church. They're very much in charity and Catholicism, and they're so scared for their lives now. They're so scared for their lives. They are in the middle of Damascus, and she called me. I called her on Skype yesterday. She said, Dina, if this regime will fall, we're not backing the regime, but if it falls, Al-Qaeda is taking over because they're killing people, they're ruthless, they don't care. They don't care about the humanity. They're cutting parts of the bodies and killing it.
So, Lena, it's fair to say that your family in Syria opposes U.S. intervention.
Yes, of course. I can Skype with them right now. I can put you online with them.
That'd be nice. Well, thank you, Lena, very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
No war. No way.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to get up here and talk? Okay.
Syria, my country. Syria now in dangers. Obama make everything dangerous. You cannot create peace with war. What's the war for? You gonna pay for it? I'll pay for it. Everybody pay taxes here. We pay for the war. Besides, kids killed there, women killed there, older people killed there. Why the war? We don't want a war at all. We are peace. We like peace. Everybody with peace. Please keep peace in Syria and every place in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to make some. Do you have relatives in Syria?
Yeah.
Can you tell me where? Tell us
Yeah.
where.
Latakia.
Latakia is where in Syria?
In the
The coast?
coast.
And how has the fighting affected them?
Usually everything is bad in Syria right now. Somebody goes outside the door, it's appear. We don't know where it went. And they're asking for money for them, for these people. If you take you out, they ask for money from your family. And even the family give you money, you disappear anyway.
Do you know anybody that thinks intervention in Syria by America would be a good idea?
It's not a good idea at all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I wanted to bring up some talking points I've been thinking about, and I've been probably obsessively looking at on the internet. One, the main one is the U.S. government has yet to provide any evidence to the public that the Syrian government was responsible for the massacre outside of Damascus. That's the pretext that Obama is using for his quote-unquote humanitarian mission.
Ouch.
Okay? Humanitarian, my ass. You don't conduct a humanitarian mission with Tomahawk cruise missiles.
Here. Yeah.
If you want to conduct a humanitarian mission, send food, send grain, send rice,
Yes.
promote peace talks in, I believe it was, where was the peace talks? In Geneva. They were scheduled peace talks, and it wasn't the Syrian government that backed out of it. It was the rebels with American backing that backed
Right.
out because they aren't in a in a good enough strategic position yet. It doesn't matter who the hell is in a strategic position. And while we're on that subject, Obama is trying to save face because he drew some red line against the use of chemical weapons. Well, when it comes down to Obama saving face or Syrians saving their lives, I'll take the latter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Another point I wanted to make is that there is a valid UN investigation into the use of chemical weapons. Let the UN inspectors do their job. We rushed into Iraq and didn't let the inspectors do their job. The inspectors, and all the indications from those inspectors were there was no weapons of mass destruction that Saddam Hussein had hid away. Let's not make that mistake again. Let's do this the right way through the International Criminal Court. If Assad used chemical weapons, let him suffer the consequences there. The U.S. doesn't need to be a world policeman. We're not a world policeman. Another point. There's been no showing that a U.S. military attack will improve the conditions for the Syrian people. If this is about a humanitarian mission, doesn't that mean we're trying to improve the situation for the Syrian people? It absolutely will not. It will, violence begets violence. It will probably promote retaliation, which will drag us into boots on the ground. Gee, that's not a good idea either. A final point is there's been no showing that the effects of the planned punishment will fall on those responsible for the use of chemical weapons. I guess I kind of made that point prior, but there's no precision strike with a tomahawk. There is going to be massive collateral damage. Your relatives, my relatives are potential recipients of that collateral damage. I sure as hell don't want to explain to my kids that their aunts and uncles were killed by fricking American bombs.
Hey, you!
Yeah.
My very last point. History has established that U.S. military intervention invariably makes matters worse, never makes them better. Okay? I mean, from Vietnam forward, give me an instance where we made the matter better.
Military solutions are problems.
That's right. So, thank you so much for coming today. Again, there's a lot of material up here there's sample letters to contact your congressman. There's the specific contact information. I wanted to make this point. Donnelly is undecided. Coates is undecided. Those are our two senators. Stutzman leans towards no. So we can make a difference here today, and we are making a difference here today. Obama wasn't even going to ask for a resolution, and now he's asking for one. Let's give him a resolution that says no war. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say something if that's okay.
To the mic.
Oh, okay. I'm Syrian. I've been born and raised in Fort Wayne my entire life, and I love America, and it's my home. But I have family. My cousin goes to school, and he doesn't know if it's going to be his last day or the last time he leaves the house. If we bomb Syria, that uncertainty rises, and if Al-Qaeda becomes in charge and they take over, there's a chance they won't live through the end of the week. We need to say no to bombing, because when did causing more harm, when did that ever make anything better? A man once said that war becomes perpetual when it's used as a rationale for peace, and that's what we've seen. Every time we try to bomb someone to make their lives better, we make their lives worse and our lives worse. We can't pay for welfare. People are jobless and homeless on the streets of America, and we can fund another war that's going to kill thousands and millions of innocent people just as a matter of principle because we think that we have the right to fix everyone's problems. So I'm here, I'm 18 years old, and I'm a college student, and I have the voice to say that war is wrong. We need to find peace and help Syria find a peaceful resolution and save its people rather than hurt them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well said.
Beautiful.
Well, I believe very much that we should respect the United Nations. We should wait for that resolution. And war never makes peace, negotiation makes peace. And I hope that's what will happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Is she Syrian?
Yeah, that was my lovely mother. who immigrated here in 1958 from Syria, who has relatives here. I think Mr. Masri would like to address the crowd.
I will.
Oh, please, open mic.
I am not Syrian. I was born right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I want to tell Mr. President Obama and Congress that we are well aware that you do not make war to topple dictators. We know that you are making war to prop up the military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
You are making war for profit. There is no other reason. You do not want peace. Peace is not profitable to you. Well, the American people are standing up today to tell you, no. We will not go into another war for your profits. We will not lose our brothers, our sisters, our sons, and our daughters for your profit. We will not do it any longer. No, it's going to stop. It's going to stop now.
Go, Joe!
Yeah.
This has been a very impromptu, a very hastily organized demonstration. I was in Philadelphia last weekend, and I was driving home with a good friend, and I put myself on a news blackout. And because this issue and the issue of war pisses me off so much, it affects my serenity. All right?
Oh, sure.
And my serenity is very important to me. But when we finished doing what we were doing in Philadelphia, I lifted my news blackout because, you know, I felt guilty for sitting on my ass during the Iraq War when I felt so strongly that it was a bad idea. And I remember being almost a lone voice, not within my own family, but seemed like within Fort Wayne. And I felt bad about that for a long time. So finally, I think, I came to the realization on the drive home that something has to be done. And it isn't futile, that there is a possibility we can make a change. And even if it's not made today or tomorrow, or even if Obama acts without the consent of Congress, I'm still going to be here.
Good.
Because this is such a stupid idea.
Yep.
And I come here as an American of Syrian heritage. I first and foremost think it's a horrible idea for this country. Additionally, I think it's a potential travesty to my own family.
So being serene and calm inside is important. And looking out at the world and seeing what goes on breaks that serenity, or should break that serenity, in every single one of us. Every single one of us, every citizen of the United States, every immigrant, every naturalized alien should be appalled at what our government has become. That the military-industrial complex, through the Citizens United Act and many court decisions over the previous decades, has bought and purchased our government, and that its sole purpose is to continue this war as long as it can, so it can manufacture weapons and ammunition, because you can't sell weapons and ammunition unless you're using them. And by the way, let's keep the Middle East a hot spot, because as long as it's a hot spot, we can keep the price of oil high. We can make people scared. We can make the world uncertain. That is not the world I want to live in, nor is that the world I believe that the founders of our country intended us to guide the world towards. I do not believe that the founders of our country ever intended us to become an American empire like the Roman Empire, moving throughout the world, making indiscriminate decisions for the population. The only way that that is going to change is if we, each individual one of us, decides that our lifestyle and our comfort are not as important as the lives and peace of all the citizens of the world. Every day we make decisions. We go to work at jobs. We buy things from companies that support the war effort. We do all kinds of small things to continue to support the military-industrial complex and the hydrocarbon overlords, excuse my expression, that's, you know. And so what we have to do is disengage and choose a new lifestyle individually, because even after we convince our president not to bomb Syria, not to put boots on the ground, It's a whole matter of changing the way we live, and we can do it. We're living on technology that's 100 years old. We can change our dependencies, and we can make an economic change that will make it unnecessary for us to ever have to consider the other citizens of the world as what the corporations call externalities. Every time our government makes a decision, it should take into account the welfare of all of the citizens of Earth. And that's all I got to say.
This is Syria, and it says, this beautiful line, war becomes perpetual when used as a rationale for peace. And what's your name again?
Dana.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What, you go to college, you said?
Yep, I'm at IPFW.
IPFW, okay. My favorite peace activist, right
Lord
here.
Mary Grace.
All right. My two favorites, I should say.
There's my other one right there.
Oh, I couldn't find him last time. There you go.
Yeah,
I like your sign. Oh my God.
It's okay.
So hopefully you'll all be on the 4-way from